In this tutorial, I'll show you how to perform a GET request in N8N using the HTTP request node. GET requests are commonly used to retrieve information from APIs, making them one of the most useful tools for building automations. Start by opening N8N and creating a new workflow. Add a manual trigger node so you can easily test the workflow while you're building it. Next, click the plus button and add an HTTP request node. Connect it to the manual trigger so the request runs whenever you execute the workflow. Open the HTTP request node and set the method to GET. Then enter the API endpoint you want to retrieve data from. If the API requires authentication, configure the appropriate credentials or add the required headers. You can also include query parameters if the endpoint accepts them. Once the request is configured, click Execute step to send the GET request. N8N will contact the API and display the response directly in the output panel. Review the return data to make sure the request was successful. If necessary, adjust your URL parameters or authentication settings until you receive the expected results. After confirming the request works correctly, you can continue building your workflow by connecting additional nodes. For example, you might filter the data, save it to a spreadsheet, send it to a database, notify your team, or use it in another automation. When your workflow is complete, save it and activate it if you want it to run automatically as part of a larger process. And that's how to perform a GET request in N8N at an HTTP request node. Configure the GET method, test the API response, and use the return data in your automations.